And now joining me on the show are my colleagues Adya Juneja to get us all the updates from the world of business, Nikita Singh to tell us what's making a buzz in the world of tech, and Adra Sasidharan to bring us all the updates from the world of sports. Let's start by looking at what's happening in this global economic landscape. It's over to you, Adya.
Thank you so much, Haim. Big money moves, political drama and market resilience. Here are the stories shaping business headlines across the globe. Elon Musk has become the first person in history to hit a net worth of $500 billion. Forbes pegs his fortune at $500.1 billion, driven largely by Tesla's rally. Shares are up nearly 15% this year and another 4% on Wednesday alone. His other ventures, SpaceX and XAI, have also seen soaring valuations. Musk's net worth has grown 20-fold since 2020, fueling talks that he could be the world's first trillionaire within a decade. But while one man's wealth surges, Washington gridlock is clouding the world's largest economy. Fitch says the US government shutdown would not immediately hit the country's credit rating, though it is watching the institutional checks and balances closely. S&P Global also does not see any shutdowns as the credit events, but warns GDP growth could shrink for each week the government stays closed. The deficit is projected to narrow, helped by higher tariff revenues. Still, uncertainty rises as key economic data, including the jobs report, could be delayed. Even with the shutdown, Wall Street is finding reasons to cheer. US stocks notched fresh records on Wednesday. Asian markets tracked the gains. Seoul's Kospi jumped nearly 3% after Samsung and SK Hynix struck a deal with OpenAI to supply chips. Investors are betting on resilient tech demand and more Fed rate cuts, though delays in government data could complicate the outlook. If history is any guide, investors may be right to shrug off the shutdown. Since 1976, the US has had 20 shutdowns, typically lasting about 8 days. Markets have usually brushed them off. The S&P 500 actually rose 3% during the 2013 shutdown and 10% during the 35-day standoff in 2018 and 19. Bonds often rally as treasuries benefit from uncertainties. Analysts say the bigger risk this time is not the shutdown itself, but how delays could blur the Fed's path on rate cuts. Well, this is it from the world of business. Now for all the tech updates, it's over to you, Nikita.
Well, thanks so much, Adya, for all the interesting business insights. First up, OpenAI has struck a major deal with Samsung and SK Hynix to power its $500 billion target project, an ambitious AI infrastructure push backed by SoftBank, Oracle, and the Trump administration. Now, the announcement comes after OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's meeting with South Korean President Lee Jae-myung in Seoul. The partnership will see Samsung and SK ramp up advanced chip production and meet OpenAI's soaring demands. Now, OpenAI also signed a separate deal with SK Telecom, South Korea's top wireless carrier, and other Samsung affiliates to explore a local AI hub called Stargate Korea. According to a Financial Times report, the UK government has revived its demand for Apple to provide access to British users' iCloud data. Unlike before, this time the request is limited to UK citizens. However, it could still strain ties with Washington, which has criticized foreign moves to regulate Silicon Valley. Now, London wants Apple to build a backdoor for law enforcement access, something which the tech giants have long opposed. Earlier this year, a similar push led Apple to drop full end-to-end encryption for its UK customers. According to a Bloomberg report, Apple has halted a planned overhaul of its Vision Pro mixed reality headset to shift resources to smart glasses that would rival products from Meta platforms. Now, the iPhone maker has been preparing a cheaper, lighter variant of its headset, codenamed N100, for release in 2027. However, the company recently informed staff that it is reallocating employees from that project to accelerate work on its smart glasses. The Vision Pro, launched in February 2024 to heavy fanfare, has struggled to sustain momentum amid a thin slate of mainstream content and competition from cheaper devices such as Meta's Quest. Well, that's it from the world of tech. Now my colleague Atra would be taking you through some sports updates. Over to you, Atra.
Thank you so much, Nikita, for all the updates from the world of technology. Now let's kickstart the sports segment with some news from the world of cricket. India have bowled out the West Indies for 162 on the opening day of the Ahmedabad Test. The visitors won the toss and opted to bat first at the Narendra Modi Stadium, but they struggled against the Indian attack. Pacer Mohammad Siraj starred with 4 wickets, while Jasprit Bumrah took 3. No West Indies player could score more than Justin Greaves' 32. Remember, this is India's first home test under the captaincy of Shubman Gill. Victor has said that the only governing body and not the world leaders will decide if any 2026 World Cup matches are to be moved from the host cities. His comments came after the US President Donald Trump said that he might move matches from cities he thinks are unsafe. Next year's World Cup is being co-hosted by the United States, Mexico and Canada, and it will take place from June 11th to July 19th. It is the first World Cup to be played in 3 nations. 78 of the 104 fixtures, including the final, will be played across 11 American cities.
All right, thank you so much, Adira, for all the updates from the world of sports, and thank you so much to my colleagues Adya, Nikita and Adira for joining us with all these updates.